over and over and over. You can see why Ric Flair's trapped.
Welcome back, wrestling fans. Wrestling Anime here, another classic. First off, I want to thank the people who subscribed to this new channel. Appreciate it a lot. For the people who actually did subscribe to this new channel, I appreciate it really a lot. Can't thank you enough. Gonna show you some classic wrestling footage in my video library. So yeah, thanks guys for subscribing to this, and girls, if there are any girls out there who subscribe to this too. Gonna show you some classic matches. So yeah. What you're seeing right now is a classic NWA World Championship match from the Checkerdome in St. Louis, Missouri. King Kong Brody, aka Bruiser Brody, challenges Ric Flair for the world title. This is the 60-minute match, the famous match they had. As you know, Ric Flair was the traveling champion, just like any other NWA World Champion. He traveled all over, you know, Japan, Mexico, Puerto Rico. You know, Ric Flair went all over the country, all over the world. His mainstay was in Carolina with Jim Crockett Promotions, you know, Mid-Atlantic or World Championship Wrestling, whatever Jim Crockett was doing at the time. But this match took place in Sam Muchnick's territory, St. Louis Wrestling. You know, they had that famous TV program, Wrestling at the Chase. You know, that was filmed at the Chase Hotel in St. Louis. They used to run big shows in the Checkerdome, and they had some big cards, and at this particular card, they brought in the world champion Ric Flair to defend the title against one of Sam Muchnick's top talent, Bruiser Brody. Now, Bruiser Brody was a big wrestler, you know. He was a brawler. I mean, he was hardcore before the word hardcore was even used, you know. His matches with Abdullah the Butcher were just violent, you know, back in this time. You know, Bruiser Brody, as you see with the kick, he was more of a brawler, not a wrestler. But, you know, he could get in there and he could wrestle just like anybody else. But, you know, he chooses to brawl. As Bruiser Brody, as everybody knows, the tragedy that happened in Puerto Rico when he got stabbed by a fellow wrestler. You know, his career was cut short the late 80s. You know, if he was still around today, you know, what would have happened in the 90s? Between Flair and Brody. Flair with an elbow in the top of Brody's head. And he pitches Brody through the ropes and out of the ring to the floor of the Checkerdome. Look at Brody stomping around the ring, angrily crawling back in. Want to play that way in that crowd, standing, screaming. Now it's Flair who bailed out with Brody. As you can see, if you could look up, this place was huge. It was a huge building. They used to sell out crowds, you know, for people to come to see wrestling. You know, Sam Muchnick, one of the best promoters, you know, in the wrestling business in the territorial days, you know. He had a great TV show. He promoted a lot of good wrestling cards. They were traveling all over the country. Remember, slight rule change, different things would cause disqualification. Always a little bit different. There's also test, challenge. People inside the ring. Knee to the stomach. And a chop by Ric Flair. Grabbing the hair. This is actually the 60-minute match. This is 2 out of 3 falls, and it goes 60 minutes. Flair pounds right on the forehead of Ric Flair, right on the forehead of Brody. Ric Flair again pounding on Brody's forehead. You know, Ric Flair pretty much has a classic match with anybody back in the day, you know. Territory to territory, wrestling different people, sometimes the same people twice, you know, over and over again. You know, Ric Flair pretty much wrestled every day of the week. Twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. The bear hug by Brody again. A power move by a power wrestler, King Kong Brody. You are in check. Those fans who've been around, well, more than a few years, you might remember Yukon Eric. Back in the early 1950s, up through the early 1960s, it was the bear hug he'd used to win his matches. He'd squeeze a concession out of his opponent, or cause him simply to become unconscious because he squeezed all the wind out. Brody's looking for here. Oh, is Flair
Flair tries to go for the eye. Lee Warren trying to get a look, but Lee right now is a little bit shorter than the two wrestlers. I don't know if he can see the face of Brody. Brody bent over. Brody was trying to use that bear hug to take the wind out of Flair, just to take some of the stamina away. Both men a little groggy at the moment. Brody because his eye was gouged. Flair because he's trying to get some wind back. Flair though, they do the attack. They want to pass up an opportunity to be in front of Brody. Going for the suplex. Going for the suplex and Brody blocks it. Going for the suplex again. Brody blocks it. Brody was also a tough man to slam. He claimed that nobody could body slam him or suplex him. Flair couldn't do it there, but oh, look at this. Brody with the suplex on Flair. Flair tried the suplex, failed. Brody tried the suplex, and he scored with the suplex. Again, that crowd screaming.
As this crowd was really over for Brody, as you see. They really wanted Brody to win. You know, he was a real crowd favorite in St. Louis territory.
Simply dynamite that night at the Checkerdome. I remembered well, and even Ric Flair would tell you today it was one of his most favorite.
As Ric Flair kicks out.
Favorite moments in wrestling because the St. Louis crowd was so intense.
Once again, guys, I want to thank the people who actually subscribe to this new channel. I appreciate you subscribing to this channel. Hope to show you some more classics of stuff I have in my vault, my wrestling library. Any requests of a certain wrestler, old school match or whatever, or two people fighting in a match, you know, a Pacific match or a wrestler, you know, send me a private message on this channel and I'll hopefully get to your requests. Requests are always welcome. So,
see if that works. No, Brody like the arch. Look at the balance he has. Those legs spread and Flair's it.
Thanks again, guys. Hope you enjoyed this classic.
Again, a test of will between Brody and Flair. Something that Flair generally was able to do to an opponent, could not do to King Kong Brody right there in that instance.